Hello, good afternoon, everyone. This is it. We're in Malta now, and we're very glad to have Mr. Santan from India as an advocate of the Supreme Court in India to share about some of his views with our young lawyers audience in Hong Kong today. Maybe just say a hi to our audience.
Hi everybody, this is Santhan. I am the Honorary Vice President of the Commonwealth Lawyers Association. Let me briefly tell you about how this YCLA came into being. In the year 2018, I was attending the annual conference of the Law Society of Kenya in one of the centers in Kenya. There was a dinner where mostly young lawyers gathered, and I was asked to speak at the dinner. I spoke. I briefly told them about the young lawyers, how the future lies, and the question that was posed to me was, are you also having any event for the young lawyers in the Commonwealth Law Conference? Immediately thereafter, we had the Commonwealth Law Conference happening in Livingstone, Zambia. I told all of them that I will ensure that we will have an event of the young lawyers at the conference in Livingstone. This was in 2019, and we had it. How it happened was, we invited all young lawyers to gather one evening for a reception where informally we all interacted. What importance this assumes is, today we are in a globalized world. In a globalized world, a lawyer, whichever jurisdiction he comes from, cannot and need not be confined to his own jurisdiction, country, region, whatever you call that. The importance is, one has to understand how the legal profession functions within a jurisdiction, across the region and across the world. Only then what happens is, you will have a flavor of what is happening in the legal profession across various jurisdictions. It is not only just common law where you speak of common law, Commonwealth lawyers. There is sizable chunk of population which practices civil law. So you will get exposed to all this. For example, today, pursuant to the 1958 New York Convention, we have international arbitration, which means cross-border disputes are resolved through arbitration, and its implementation assumes importance. In this context, what happens is, if you have the flavor of what's happening in various jurisdictions as a young lawyer, you will get an exposure as to what is happening across in the legal world, and that will give you not only enough knowledge but enough understanding as to how the law operates. It will be easy for you to know from any Hong Kong lawyer as to how the law operates in Hong Kong. You will be like a frog in the well, fine. But if you know what happens in other parts, say start from Southeast Asia, then Asia, then beyond, then what happens is, you will know as to what exactly happening in the legal world, and that will enrich your not only knowledge but understanding, from which you as a professional lawyer can grow.
Oh, that is very insightful. And do you mind also share a few words of advice to our young lawyers?
As I was telling, the advice is, one should always have a broad framework of thought, idea in your own thought process when you are entering the profession. As I told you, that will give you a great exposure as to how law operates, not within your own country, within your own region, and beyond region, across the world. We have so many continents across the world. What is happening in North American continent? What's happening in South American continent? What's happening in Europe? How about Asia? How about Middle East? All these things you will get to know when you reach out to the world, and that will help you as a young lawyer and as a legal professional when you grow in age in the profession. You need not be confined just to Hong Kong. Hong Kong is also a mini world. Like that, the entire world will be at your feet when you understand better and better. And these days, besides arbitration, you have another development that has taken place as far as dispute resolution is concerned. It is Singapore Convention of 2019, which is called wherever dispute could be settled cross-border. It gets legitimacy because of Singapore Convention. So that is also a field just born in a way, and it is growing fast. So people, instead of waiting 5 to 10 years to 15 years for settlement of their disputes through arbitration, people started thinking in terms of mediation. So mediation is another aspect where why not settle now? As somebody was telling me the other day, somebody has authored a book on arbitration. He says, in Japan, the first question that is asked is, why don't we settle? So which means ego takes a back seat, practicality takes the front seat, and you think in terms of how to settle the dispute. And what is the best method? They say mediation. So a young lawyer gets exposure to all this, and that's a great advantage when you are thinking beyond your borders.
Thank you very much, Mr. Santhan, for your interview.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Very
And
fruitful.
wish you all the best.
Thank you. Thank you.